Hey. Oh, hey. I have a theory about Helion that I think might break this fandom in half.
Well, I'm ready to fight about whether Rhysand is secretly tied to a death god.
I have theories. I'm excited for today. Just a heads up to everybody that is listening to us at the moment. This is another one of our ACOTAR miniseries. So if you have not read ACOTAR, or if you have not read Crescent City or Throne of Glass, we are going to be talking about that, and there could be spoilers for you. So
There
again,
will be spoilers.
heads up. But hey,
Okay.
book babes, this is Two Girls, One TBR. Again, this is our ACOTAR miniseries, and I'm here today with the lovely Chelsea. So
Hello.
I hope you all are excited about today. We are going to be breaking down all 7 High Lords of Prythian, their powers, their personalities, and the fan theories that make the Maasverse feel like a conspiracy board. I feel like I'm Charlie on It's Always Sunny in
Yes.
Philadelphia when he's trying to
When
figure
he's
out
like
stuff.
this, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that I feel like him at all times now.
Yeah.
But now you and I didn't record last time. Last time it was last episode it was me and Heather, and
Heather filled in.
Heather filled in, and we had, again, we don't remember anything because when I've read ACOTAR, that was over a year ago. But right now I'm deep in Crescent City, so I have a lot of knowledge in that part. But there were things that we couldn't remember, and so
Yeah.
again, this is always my little section of what we couldn't remember from the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing we talked about was our sweet Suriel. But there's the theory, I couldn't remember the name. It's from Throne of Glass. Like, you've
Mm-hmm.
read Throne of Glass.
Yes.
And how do we pronounce their name? Is that Calton?
Caltaine. And then I think it's Rompier or Rompier, but I just say Caltaine because that's the only one I know.
Because people said that is who they feel is the Suriel. But
Yeah.
then I have questions with that. But I thought the Suriel were all like a little, like their
The
own
Suriel
species.
it's a species. It's not a specific one. There's not just one. It's like they all share knowledge, you know?
Maybe they are all
Um,
those people and they just turn into the Suriel, like into that species. Like they are like us and then they
oh,
become that. Is
that's
that
kind of
possible?
cool. Well, and see, I kind of like that with the Caltaine theory because she I mean, she was kind of like gross in the beginning of Throne of Glass. I didn't like her. And then at the end, I liked her.
Hmm.
And I love the idea that she became a Suriel, or like it's almost like maybe the Suriel is like a spirit, you know? So like
Maybe.
maybe if they didn't have like a lovely ending, they become the Suriel in another realm.
Well, this is what they say is the evidence that they could be the one and the same
Hmm.
is they both died in a burst of white hot powder when they died, turned to ash. Then the ashes got carried away on a phantom wind.
I like it. I can't
Um,
remember if it was white power for Caltaine. I almost remember it being dark.
I just remember they turned to ash. So
Yeah, there's a
that I'm not 100%, but I do know they
yeah.
were turned to ash, and then I know the Suriel got carried by a phantom wind.
I'll tell
Um,
you right now, I will volunteer as tribute to like re-listen to Kingdom of Ash because that was a
hmm.
great book.
Oh,
So,
so maybe if you read
so we
that,
can, we
we
can
can
confirm this.
continue.
Yeah, or somebody who has recently read it, please comment and tell us, confirm that for us.
Yes. So I don't know. It's interesting, and they said that
Yeah.
it's possible like the Suriel's death may not be final, since since she reappeared, since they think it's
Oh
her.
right.
So maybe they'll rematerialize and they'll come
Okay.
as
Well,
something else.
so that's a good. You make a good point. If the Suriel isn't just one, I
Hmm?
mean, his death was still really sad, but
Yes.
there's gotta be others then.
Yes. So maybe we will see in book 6. Maybe we will see them again,
Okay.
but maybe not the same. But like maybe they
Yeah.
reincarnate. I don't know how
Yeah,
it works.
maybe it's gonna be a few years until he regenerates or something.
Yeah, because like this is what people are saying. So if the Suriel, if that is really that person, that Caltaine,
Uh-huh.
but maybe they're just reincarnating and they'll just reincarnate into another
Yeah.
Suriel. Or,
Or is it a plot hole? I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting though.
Yes.
Another thing that Heather and I talked about was someone that I guess in Throne of Glass, is it Aelin?
Mhm.
She talked
Mhm.
with and made a deal with this person, and it was called the Sin Eater, the God of Truth. Do you remember this person?
I'm having a really hard time remembering that.
They said that their people's theories is that this
Uh-huh.
person, the Sin Eater or the God of Truth, is the
Uh-huh.
same kind of people as the Bone Carver, Strega, as Koshi, the same
Yeah.
people. Um,
Because Aelin came across some like different gods.
mhm,
Um and she like locks them up at some point, like kind of like
mm.
gets rid of them because she's like, I'm the god now. Like, bye. Like you're done meddling in our lives, kind of way. And so that's why like I'm having a really hard time remembering that.
Well,
I would love for somebody to
yes, to let us know.
to give me like page number or chapter number or something so that I can look into that.
Well, according to this, they say that they're all bone obsessed, twisting the truth twisting ancient beings. The Sin Eater
Hmm.
consumes the truth. The
Huh.
Carver manipulates fate, and
Uh-huh.
Koshi is a death god. So they're all like a trifecta of each other.
Okay.
The Carver says when Feyre and them are talking to him that they are not
Hmm.
Fey and that they are older than the world. So that suggests they were not part of Prythian. They they came from somewhere else.
Okay.
Um, so the crossover connection, this is what they say, is the multiverse
Hmm.
allows gods to appear in multiple worlds. And this implicates that maybe Koshi's defeat may require understanding the Sin Eater's magic.
Okay.
So are the ancient death gods of Prythian actually part of the same pantheon
Hmm.
as Throne of Glass, is what they're saying.
Okay.
I don't. So that's kind of interesting because I was thinking before I started reading Crescent City, I was thinking maybe possibly they were part of Midgard from that world.
Oh,
But
okay.
now, since I've read this or I'm deep into it, I don't think they're anything to do with Midgard, but they could be involved from that because of
Yeah.
how they can move from worlds to world. But
Okay.
I don't know. So maybe it does tie more
So,
into Throne of Glass.
okay, and even though I just said if somebody's read it,
Yeah.
I'm researching as we're talking. Apparently in Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book of Throne of Glass, Dorian encounters the Sin Eater.
Oh, it was him, not Aelin. Okay.
Yeah, so I want to go back and read Kingdom of Ash. I think that's the only one I would really need to reread in all honesty because that's when everything comes together.
Is that the
Um,
last book?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's so epic. But yeah, and so it's saying around chapter 60 and 30. I'm looking at like Reddit.
Yeah.
I trust Reddit because that's where all real people
Yeah.
talk and put all the
Yeah.
information.
It
So
always keeps it true.
okay. And yeah, it's saying that it thinks that it is like it either is the bone carver or very, very heavily connected
It's
to
interesting.
him because the sin eater carves sins into bones.
It's interesting though, isn't it?
And that would be our bone carver.
But
Yeah. Okay, I like it.
well,
I'm making
since
a little note over here to
oh
tell
yes,
myself
write
to
that down.
reread. Yeah.
Yes, since I read ACOTAR and like and all this time I've
Uh-huh.
had Crescent City sitting there. I did not realize how much you find out by reading Crescent
Yeah.
City, or I would have read it
Mhm.
sooner. So Sarah obviously very these are very entangled series.
Yeah, and
So
so intentional too. Like
yes,
remember in our previous episode when we talked about like the fourth um trove item
yes,
and how in A Court of Silver Flames Nesta saw it like shaded, like she couldn't actually see it but she knew something existed, and now we know that that's the horn in Crescent City. So it's like you
and
really can't get the context in ACOTAR unless you
and
read
she
all this
talks
other
about
stuff.
she sees the 8-pointed star, not the one that was just the bargain tattoo on her back that had since gone.
Right. It
But
has
she
more
said she talks about the 8-pointed star and she's seen it
Mhm.
before. And
Yeah.
then when I've been reading Crescent City, when
Mhm.
their whole crossover happens, she tells Bryce, I've seen the star that's the scar that's on your chest. I've seen that before, but she doesn't tell her what it is until they
Yeah.
get to that room. And she's like, this is where I saw your star. This is what I
Yeah.
saw in my vision. Because she was there,
Mhm.
because that's when she was fighting Lanthus, and that's when she got the harp,
Got the harp,
because
yeah.
the harp was sitting on top of that, remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just
Oh,
like,
it comes it gave me chills just
oh yeah,
thinking about it because it all comes together and it's so exciting.
oh yeah. And see, again, I don't understand the people that are out that say they're not excited about Crescent City, they didn't like it. This, just book 3 has confirmed so many things that I don't understand how people aren't putting it all together. But now,
Yeah.
the next thing, because Heather and I couldn't remember this, and I couldn't
Mhm.
remember, she couldn't remember. Rhys's mother did put the ring at the Weaver's house, because we couldn't
Yes.
remember if it was her or who exactly put it there, but that was her,
Yeah.
because she
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that whoever his future mate was would be, be
Mhm.
able to get that
Yeah.
ring.
She didn't want him giving it to any hoe that he hooked up with. It had to be somebody important.
Well, basically, she set Feyre up to be almost like a Hunger Games type deal, to make sure that she, even though she wasn't there to vet her herself, that was her
Mhm.
vetting process. If
Yeah.
you can do this, you're allowed to have my
Yeah.
sweet Rhys.
Y- You're worthy of my perfect child.
Oh yes, because I think he was his mother's perfect son.
Yeah.
But
100%.
we get
Yes.
more into him later. But now the next thing
I
is,
can
now
be mad at him and still love him all the time.
I love him a lot, but I think there is so much more that we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
Because right
Agree.
now we're seeing a certain side of him in certain, because I think even his own inner circle, there is a lot that they don't know. Because
Yeah.
just based on what I've read in Crescent City, even though when all this stuff happens in Crescent City, when Bryce is there, as Nesta asks Azriel, does Rhys know? And he says
Mhm.
no, but I don't buy it. I think
Yeah.
Rhys knows. I think he knows
Yeah.
more than what he lets on.
Mhm.
But because then even when Bryce appeared, and she was starting to tell things and telling him who she was a little bit there, and he's like, I don't know of any of this. And then Amren's like, oh yes. Amren answers it. So
Mhm.
is he playing it that he doesn't truly know? I don't know, because he's slippery that way. Even though I love
Yeah.
Rhys, he
Mhm.
doesn't always tell everybody what he knows. I don't know
Right.
if he does it from a strategic standpoint, or if he just, he's trying to protect them, kind of thing. I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Well, and it's the whole like if once more than one person knows a secret, you can't control it. So I can understand him keeping a lot of that close with all that responsibility that he doesn't want, that information leaked or because how many times has Cassian told Nesta something he wasn't supposed to tell him
Yeah.
or, like there's it's so easy for them to be like trusting with each other and then who knows once they get captured what comes out or Daemati, stuff works on them. So,
Well, remember, there is the theory that in book 6 that there will be somebody that will betray them.
yeah.
Will that come to fruition? I
Yeah.
don't know. So, I mean,
So, and is Reese smart then to keep all that close to himself? Yeah, absolutely.
it's interesting.
So,
Oh, again, everything, this has renewed my thoughts and stuff since I started Crescent City. But now,
yeah.
then we talk about Koshi, Strega, and the Carver. They said
Mhm.
that, are they the same kind of thing? Because this links them to Throne of Glass and Crescent City. Are they
Mhm.
possibly like a triad or a triad? Because
Mhm.
Koshi, let's see here. Koshi's, of course, is death, decay, binding. Strega did prophecy, shadow, and she, would eat people, kind of thing. But the Carver, he was truth, bone, and fate. Even though
Yeah.
and that still takes me back to when he presented Feyre as a little boy, didn't
Mhm.
have wings. But then again, maybe Nyx will be able to make them disappear. but
Yeah.
there's still something. It's either, I think Sarah was very intentional how she put it based on what I'm seeing from the crossover and stuff.
Yeah.
Little tiny things she does in this series ends up being something big in another series. So
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
is it, and of course, again, we know they're older than Prythian, older than the High
Mhm.
Lords. Now, were they
Yeah.
there during when the High King was there? Um, Back 15,000 years ago? I'm assuming they were there then as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Silver Flames, yeah, because they talked about the High King and his sword, Gwydion.
Gwydion.
Um,
And now we know with that, now since I've read,
mhm.
that is the Star Sword from Crescent City.
Yeah. So, yeah, I bet they were. And then I always too like now that I've read it and talking about Amryn
Hmm.
and after she came out of the cauldron, it's kind of weird how like sometimes she has enough memory and then sometimes she doesn't. I don't know. But she's been around for 15,000 years, so I imagine
Well,
the rest of them.
she's been in Prythian at least
Mhm.
15,000 years.
Yeah.
So that puts her probably that she's much older than that. So
Mhm.
when all this stuff was happening 15,000 years ago, because again, if you haven't read Crescent City yet, that's what I'm deep into. I'm at the
Mhm.
part where I understand now who the High King was, who Thea was. That was his high lady that was with him.
Mhm.
That was his wife. They had two children. There's Helena and Selene. Um, I just when all this stuff happened and Thea went to Midgard, did did Amryn come with her then? But
Yeah.
because Amryn said, now this is something that's interesting. Amryn said that she fell through the rip.
Mhm.
Now, I know from reading Crescent City, they went through the portal and then she sealed it up and there was no way they could come and go. So
Mhm.
how did Amryn get into Prythian unless she went when I don't know. But then again, they said in Crescent City that there's a rip and things come and go. So maybe there is a rip
Yeah.
in Prythian, or there was a
Yeah.
rip in Prythian. But I think Amryn, because they
Uh-huh.
showed like remember when she went in the cauldron or before she went in the cauldron, she was in her true form and she was like
Mhm.
it sounds like she's like an angel from Crescent City,
Yes. Yeah.
but she was red. I haven't seen anybody. I remember, was it that they said she was red, or maybe it's just that she was a fire, maybe. I
Oh.
have I have to look and see. I could have sworn it
Yeah.
said something
I don't
with she
remember
was
that either.
red.
And I'm trying to look through here because I remember Nesta asks her like, "What are you?" And then she explains what she is. And I had to know. Okay, here it is. Amryn describes what she was: perfect immortality, which I say is like an angel, turned
Hmm.
herself immortal, but more on the mortal side, able to die. And then Nesta says, "What were you?" And she said, "A messenger and a soldier assassin for a wrathful god who ruled a young world."
I mean, that could be like the angels that we're seeing in
Yeah.
Midgard, because that's what I was thinking.
All the archangels and the angels, there
Because
that
she could have
that
been an
whole
archangel.
yeah,
Because I don't think
yeah.
she's just like well, I haven't gotten to the point yet, so I don't know the answer to this yet, but I'm
Mhm.
assuming I will, as because like you've said before, the first three books of Crescent City tie up their story.
Yeah.
Hunt is more than what he knows. I
Yeah.
because the Prince of Hell alludes to that to him, but I haven't found out what that answer is yet.
Ah! Okay, I
But
don't wanna spoil it for you, it's
so
so exciting.
so I know there's something. I know it,
Yeah.
but so then it makes me think whatever possibly he is
Mhm.
that what Amryn is? And also, what was the
Well, I actually have a theory about that one too, that might be what Asriel is.
hmm, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, if you guys have not read these, you need to go read them.
Mhm.
But I'm assuming
Yeah.
if you're listening to us, you're deep in this world too.
Yeah.
Now, again, what we talked about earlier, let's see here with the Phantom Wind, the weird wind thing, we believe
Yeah.
that's Kaelin. That was something else we were talking about, and we
Oh,
said that might
Calchain, yeah.
Keltane. We believe the
Yeah.
Phantom Wind may be a sign of a cosmic force at work. So just put that in there. And they said Sarah does not repeat imaginary by or imagery. I'm sorry, not imaginary, imagery by accident. What is she telling us? So this phantom win. So there's something with that.
Yeah.
Now, this is something else. Now, the Dusk Court ruler may still be alive. Now, if you've read Crescent City, you've discovered about the Dusk Court. Now, even though we had they do mention it in ACOTAR, but in Crescent City, you discover what the Dusk Court was. That is where the prison is located in Prythian. Selene was the daughter of the High Lord the High King and the High Lady. Thea was her mother. Her mother went to Midgard because she wanted more power, and her daughters were Selene and Helena. Helena ended up staying in Midgard because she pushed her sister through, and she went on to fight with her mother, and her mother was getting killed, all that kind of stuff. So Selene came back, and she didn't want people to remember or to know, basically kind of hide the truth from people, in essence, which people should have known, probably because people would have hated her because of they were not nice people. Thea was not a nice person. The mother wasn't a nice person, and neither was her daughters, truly, because they wanted to enslave humans and all that kind of stuff. So the prison was a palace, and she encased all of the beautiful rooms, the throne room, all those beautiful things into stone and rock. And then she hunted all the areas in Prythian, all of the pets of the Daglin, which is the same thing as the Asteri we've discovered, or I have discovered since I've been reading. And she imprisoned them all there, in which basically their beautiful palace that was once beautiful became a prison. So we know that. I mean, that Crescent City 3 has confirmed all that information. So is it possible? Well, now we know, we're assuming Selene died. We're assuming, because she shows them as the holograph. She's a younger woman, and then she's older, because that's 15,000 years. We're assuming she died, because she went on to have descendants, because she married a High Lord's son, which ties her with her star power, which I believe ties to Rhys.
Yeah. Rhys and Bryce and Rune.
And I'm assuming Bryce came from Helena, because Helena must not have died.
And now I'm also trying to remember. Okay, so in Throne of Glass and Dorian, where he descends from, kind of has I think he's going to be very similar, or he's very similar to like Rhys and Rune, because he has the dark hair, the blue eyes.
Does he have shadows?
He has like an icy kind of power. I don't think he knows the extent of his powers, because they had gotten rid of like basically all the Fae. Okay. If you like remember me saying that, like, yes, his I remember dad, you saying that. Yeah. So and then there was something with so Maeve, who's like bad, she's Volg in Throne of Glass. She had like wormed her way into, there were these two sisters, and I forget their names.
I remember you talking about it though.
Okay, yeah. So they have two sisters, and then she like worms her way into them believing that she was a third sister, and like changes their memories and changes like the whole history of where she came from. But she's not really their sister.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where I was going with that, but it just makes me wonder, like when you were talking about like the triad stuff, how that plays into it all. Now it's like making me think.
It's interesting
about
though, isn't
all
it?
of it. Yeah. And then with the different courts, like where it's making me wonder if what the comparison is with the prison in Prythian, the stuff with Midgard, and then like where that all ties in with Throne of Glass.
But now this is something else that is interesting. Now I hadn't thought about this. Now remember when the Bone Carver is talking to Farah and all of them, and he's talking about that great warrior, which now I believe the great warrior was Selene, because she's the one that imprisoned all these people in the prison. And he
Yeah.
said her blood still runs through some human lines. And that's where we were thinking, like, is it possible that, that's where Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine, why they became
Oh,
high Fae.
yeah.
But I mean, over 15,000, that'd be weird. Her and Rhys might be related in a slight way. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, branches off in so many different
Or
directions.
I also wonder if it has to do with Aelin from Throne of Glass, if it's talking about her,
It
because
could be.
remember I said she like takes a bunch of the gods and locks them up?
Yes. So, I mean, it could be her.
I think we might have just figured out that that's what that was. I think she was the one that locked them, but she has a different name.
But that wasn't her name at the beginning of the book, isn't it? And in Throne of Glass, doesn't she have two different names? She
Yeah.
thinks she's one name and then she becomes another name.
Well, she does that on purpose.
Oh, she does that on her own.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know.
But
There's something there.
yeah.
Sarah's very intentional. So there's something there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so
It makes me want to go back and look at your Crescent City stuff you're going with. It's like I wish I could give you my knowledge of Throne of Glass and you put it together right now, but I almost have to read both of them
but
again.
so the question lies, who is the
Mhm.
secret heir of the Dust Court? Is it Rhys? Is it Feyre?
Is
We
it
know Bryce is
some
tied in. We
random?
know
Yeah.
or could it be somebody else that could it be more? I mean,
Yeah.
because remember Moore's people, there's something involving there too.
Yeah.
There's so many players that it could be.
Yeah.
Now, also, we did find out too, since I've been reading, we were talking about the cauldron, Heather and I,
Mhm.
but I did find out that the cauldron was there before the Asteri got there.
Mhm.
But then they corrupted the Asteri, the Daglin. They are the ones who
Mhm.
corrupted the cauldron, and they said the cauldron cannot be killed because if they kill the cauldron, all of
Mhm.
Prythian is done. That's at least what the Asteri woman that's in the coffin said.
Yeah.
So
Which they figured out in
well, they did have
ACOTAR.
it. Well, they did have it all broken apart, but
Yeah.
I don't think they realized that. I don't know if they know that the Daglin, quote, the Asteri, corrupted the
Mhm.
cauldron. I don't think
Right.
they necessarily know that
Yeah.
information.
Right. They just know now that they can't take it out because it will take them out.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just all everything I keep reading, it just blows my mind. Again, so now this part here, now this has nothing to do with Heather and I, but these are my thoughts because I've been reading Crescent City and it ties into
Mhm.
what we're talking about. Now, of course, we know that this is a multiverse. We know that Bryce, again, if you haven't read Crescent City, this will spoil things for you.
Mhm.
Bryce falls through the worlds because she is fighting the Asteri because she actually found out the truth that they are parasites that
Mhm.
travel through the universe, taking over planets and sucking the magic and essence from people.
Mhm.
So she ends up going um, through the portal that's there at the Crystal Palace, and she ends up in the Night Court. And she meets Rhysand, Feyre, and Azriel, then of course Nesta, and she does meet Amren as well. I think maybe possibly Elaine was there too, but she didn't really, at least at the moment, for what I've read, she hasn't said much of
Yeah.
anything. It's been
No.
predominantly Azriel and Nesta.
Yeah.
So Bryce's power is a starborn power, is what we've
Mhm.
discovered, which we knew as we're reading through Crescent City, but then we find out that actually originated in Prythian.
Mhm.
And that's what the High Lady, the first High Lady. I don't know if they had other High Ladies at the time because there was only one. There was the High Lord or High King or whatever he
High
was.
king and like
Hi.
a high queen type
And
thing. Yeah.
and that's what she was, and that's where her power. That's what she was, and her husband. What did we say his name was? Not. It began with
I
an
only
F.
have this. Oh, Fion.
Theon. He had
Yeah.
shadows, and she
Mhm.
had the Starborn magic.
Mhm.
So we believe that, the Bryce is the descendant of Thea, tied to the Dust Court, which is with the
Mhm.
Trove, the truth magic. So there's something with truth. See, that's where,
Yeah.
see, and remember, Moore has the power of truth. So if this is
Mhm.
truth matter, see, I think Moore's going to be the one that is actually going to be the ruler of the Dusk Court. I'm going to put that out there right now. At first,
Okay.
I thought it was going to be Lucian. I was really leaning towards him, thinking maybe he's going to take over another court.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be Moore because she's got that
Yeah.
power of truth. Doesn't it seem to tie?
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, but when I was re-listening to A Court of Frost and Starlight, Moore towards the end says she's made a decision that she hasn't told anyone about.
Mm.
But then and then I was listening to Silver Flames, like wondering, oh, does she talk about it then? And I don't remember her talking about any decision that she's made.
Well, we know she doesn't really like. We know at the end of Star and was it
Frost
Frost
and
and
Starlight.
Starlight?
Mhm.
We know she goes up to her other place that
Mhm.
no one else goes to,
Mhm. Or
and
even knows about, really.
I'm assuming Reese knows, but you know,
Yeah.
but it's either Azrael's follower because she said could see from the woods shadows. But
A
see
patch of
that,
darkness. Yeah.
and that's weird.
Yeah.
But I just don't.
She
I
called
think
it a patch of darkness that was lingering and watching, familiar but foreign in the thorns. And then, but she did say, not like Azrael's shadows, best left undisturbed.
mm, is
So
that Bray?
that's where I think that's where it's like, no, it's not Azrael. I think people forget that she says it's not like his shadows, but it feels familiar and foreign at the same time.
But I don't think it's Bryaxis either. Because at first I
I
thought maybe it was him because he's like
didn't
a
think about
shadow thing.
that.
But
I
wouldn't
didn't think
she
about
know?
that.
But maybe she's never been down at the bottom of the library and
Yeah.
experienced him.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know. There's something. I think we're onto
Yeah.
something there.
Yeah.
Um, but now since since I read
Mhm.
Crescent City, when Bryce destroys the floor because she
Mhm.
takes the power that whatever that the other part of the star or whatever that was there that went
Mhm.
into her, the floor broke apart, and then they fall down into this I don't want to call it a cavern. I don't want to call it that, but it was another room
Yeah.
underneath that no one supposedly knew about, and there was a
Mhm.
crystal sarcophagus in there, and that is where Thea
Mhm.
entombed an Asteri, which they
Mhm.
called in Prythian, they called them the Daglin.
Mhm.
And we find out that she was actually the blacksmith that actually created the trove, and she created the star sword that Bryce has,
Mhm.
and Azrael's truth teller. Now there was a thought that there's a third weapon somewhere. I don't know because they said everything is in 3.
Mhm.
So why is there only 2? But then
Yeah.
again, there was 4 trove items.
And that could be, but that could also be Gwydion, that legendary sword of Fionn, the High King. So, and they had said that it had been like lost for some time, like nobody's seen it. And I think there was also there was one that they believed Amarantha
Mm.
possibly had access to.
Well, the star sword would have been gone for 15,000 years because
Yeah.
Thea took it to Midgard with her.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to find while we're going other stuff. I'm gonna try to find my note where I that they had thought that Amarantha might have had.
Another sword or weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, of course, as I had mentioned prior, in ACOTAR, they talk about Daglin, which is who the Fae and I think the humans and the Fae fought Daglin to get them out of their world,
Hmm.
which now we've discovered is the Asteri. They're one and the same
Yeah.
parasites. Multiverse parasites is what they refer to them.
Hmm.
Again, they feed on magic from other worlds, conquering realms, and they have the portals. That's how they get between the different worlds. Now they also
Hmm.
encounter a portal within uh, wherever Rhys and Azrael and them put Bryce in that cell, and she went down through the grate. And as they were going through
Hmm.
those tunnels, there's a portal they went through because they ended up under the mountain, which was underneath the prison, which is way too far. So that's when they discovered that those were portals. So, and again, the Asteri, they want to come back to Prythian because they're very pissed because they defeated them. They want to come back and get them. Plus, they said they want their magic because it's very strong. Now, the horn, as if everybody, again, read Crescent City, the horn is tattooed in the back of Bryce's back because Danica did that to, I guess, to save it so it didn't go into the Asteri's hands. We know now that was the fourth death trove item that Nesta saw.
I forgot
in
about
ACOTAR.
that. I forgot that they got it, that she got it ground down into the tattoo ink. It is so brilliant.
It was smart because then nobody knew.
Yeah.
And Bryce didn't even know.
Yeah.
Until
okay, I found it.
Okay.
Narvin was a sword that was rumored to be thrown in the ocean by Amarantha. Narvin. Wonder
if it's part of these same black metal.
Yeah.
And it's just
So
in the
there's that.
ocean. Maybe that will play a part with Koshi. Because I still think he's going to be one of the main bad people in the next book.
Yeah.
I think he's just beginning. But
for sure.
So we'll see how. That's interesting.
Especially
Write that down.
Especially with his penchant to take young women captive. Beautiful young women.
Yeah, they said the swans that are on the lake, they believe, were women that he made into swans to be on his lake. He's a creeper.
I think that even though they said that, because remember when Elaine says that she sees Vasa, like the Firebird?
Yes.
And then they said, are there others like her? And she said, no, they were like, they had white feathers or whatever. But I was so hoping it was Lahaba's family. Because you know how Lahaba is like the last of her kind.
Oh, the little fire sprite one?
Yeah, our little fire girl. Yeah, I was hoping that he had them, which he still might. Maybe Elaine just didn't see it. But I think he might have them held captive because Lahaba is a little hottie.
Well, and then there's with white feathers and stuff. Now remember also with white feathers up in is it Theon? Is that what his name is? Helion. It's the other court, the day court.
Thesan.
Thesan, that's his name.
Yeah.
Now remember his lover, his boyfriend. He has white feathers. But then it takes me. Are those the same people that are over in Crescent City? Some of the angels, because Pollux, he has bright white feathers that are brilliant. Are they the same people? Because now we understand they were coming and going. So did some of the people, did they go through when they were all coming into Midgard? Did some of them go over?
Yeah.
Because there's not a ton of people that have wings because the Illyrians are all leathery. Oh, interesting.
And the people from like Draken's people.
And that's a different color.
Yeah,
they're not white. They're not white feathers. I know that. They're a different kind of, or maybe they are white. I'll have to look because I don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah.
But I just wonder, are they gray feathers like Hunt's? There's something.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it yet, but there's something there.
Yeah.
And then they said, is it possible now, since, Bryce went to Prythian, they know that the Asteri, the Daglin are wanting to come back. Are they going to be using the cauldron as a weapon against the Asteri? Because now the woman that was in the Asteri that was in the glass sarcophagus, she said to him, because she said to Azrael about the truth teller, she said, he didn't understand the power of the weapon and he didn't know really how to use it. What on earth does that weapon, what do they do?
Well, because I remember them saying like it strikes true, but I don't think they know the full extent of what it does or what it can do.
And they both were calling to Bryce the whole time that Azrael had, and no one could touch the Star Sword. Only Bryce and Rune could touch it. Even their father, the Autumn King, could not touch it.
How did you feel about her saying, "Take me to a prince of hell," and Azrael's the one that was there with Truth Teller? Do you think that it took her to Truth Teller, or do you think that Azrael, with my theory that I think that he's
The Prince
well,
of
you
Hell.
haven't gotten to all of it yet. But yeah, I think that he's somehow
Well, I think
linked to
there's.
that.
Oh, I think because like in Midgard, because like they were acting like there's angels, demons, and I was thinking, oh, is
Mhm.
it like in our perception of our world, angels and demons? Which it's not.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but do I think that Azrael came from and he could be part of the princes of hell? I do think he could be a descendant of them, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
because of how his shadows are and how
Mhm.
they talked about the princes of hell and the stuff that they do.
Mhm. And all the little comments where like Cassian says like he's different. Like
Yeah,
Azrael can winnow, Azrael, but he's not really high fae. So it's like, why does he have all these abilities? And Cassian's just like, oh, well, Az has always been different.
he didn't
So
think
it's
to want to
like,
look at, but see, this is where I play into it that I think they all know a lot more
yeah,
about him and they're like, it's not their place if he
yeah.
doesn't want to talk about it kind of deal.
Or he's kept it secret, or maybe he still doesn't even know. He just knows he's different.
Oh, and then I remember
I mean,
something
that could
else.
all be possible.
Well, I read last night, there was the part where Celine was talking about that there were the other Fae that came to Midgard because she said they were their kind of Fae. And then there were
Hmm.
the Fae that came that were the like what Danica is, because
Hmm.
Danica technically, I
She's a
guess,
wolf
she's a wolf,
shifter.
she's a shifter,
Hmm.
because she made the statement that all these, but they were much meaner and they all could shift, all these people. So
Hmm.
is some of that, I mean, see, I'm still thinking, how are they
Um,
were all going, because all the High Lords can shift, as we've discovered.
yeah. Well,
Are they
and
something of it?
in Throne of Glass, there are a lot more shifters. So like,
Oh, because they
Rowan.
could be coming from there too.
Yeah, so Rowan, he shifts into a hawk, and then there's Lorcan, I forget what he shifts into. Then there's Fenris and his brother, whose name is escaping me right now. They're wolves.
Mm,
So a lot of the Throne of Glass, like there's different kind of fae.
interesting.
Mhm.
Well, Sarah said that she did not close the door on Throne of Glass, even
Yeah.
though the series is complete, she said,
Yeah.
but she's not closing the door. And there was some hint that she could be doing a novella or something
Mhm.
from Throne of
Yeah.
Glass, but maybe
Yeah.
it'll tie. I think when we
Yeah.
get to book 6 here, we're going to find out stuff.
Yeah. I think that she's done a very good job of tying things up in a nice
Hmm.
little bow, but leaving room for there's going to be more problems and more that she can do. Like I think that's what I love about her writing so much is that like there
She,
and that's why her characters live
mhm.
rent free in our head is cuz we're like thinking of, "Oh my gosh, there's so much
We're
possibility for
Charlie.
where this can go."
We're Charlie
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Always Sunny, and we're
Yeah.
connected to all this. She leaves a
Yeah.
lot of Easter eggs, and
Mhm.
she leaves them, and it's just like, even though you might read it and it just seems like nothing, and then
Mhm.
you're like, oh, when you go to to another book
Yeah.
or even in another series, because
Yeah.
stuff like I was reading last night and like through all that, and I'm like, oh, this, I kept
I
thinking so much. It was
I want you
interesting.
to meet Lysandra from Throne of Glass. She's amazing. She
Interesting.
ends up being able to like shift into whatever she wants.
Hmm.
Basically, she's a badass. You don't love her at first, and then you end up loving her. She's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Again, there's so
Hmm.
much. Now,
Yeah.
what we're going to do now, we're going to just go into our little 7 High Lords.
Oh,
Since
here we
now
go.
so now because that was all our like our the stuff that has happened in between. Now,
Yeah.
our first one, of course, we're going to talk about is our man Rhysand.
Hmm.
Again, if he is the High Lord of the Night Court. Now I do believe he has star power, or it wouldn't be star power. Well, it's is it star power? Is that what
Well,
we call
yes,
Brace's thing?
yes, because Reese, if
He's a
when I
descendant
was
of
reading
Selene.
it, but yeah, he's not shadows. Asriel is shadows. Rhysand is night, and the stars around, like he's night. And I think that Feyre even says, like, at one point that he has, like, it's almost like he has stars, like,
Shimmering
coming off,
everything.
yeah, just, like,
Hmm.
shimmering off of him. So I think that we kind of lose sight of that when we're reading, that we
Because
just
we always,
instantly go to Shadow Daddy. And, like, it's darkness, but I don't think
yeah.
it's as Shadow Daddy as people make it.
So he is starlight, but he is more of, he's almost moonlight.
Yeah, he's night.
He's the
He's
nighttime.
yeah,
Oh, it's interesting.
yeah.
Again, as we said before, we think Rhys does not, he knows more than what he says.
Mhm,
But his, the powers that we're talking about is darkness. He does mind reading. We know he does Daemati.
mhm.
So that's where the starlight hints come in from Bryce. I don't know. But now, do we think it is possible that Rhys could be tied to a death god? This is one of the theories. They said the
Mhm.
night sky at the moment of death, the father maybe his father, Rhys's
Mhm.
dad, made bargains with ancient beings, and because Rhys's magic feels much older
Mhm.
than the other High Lord's magic. So
Yeah.
is it
Like more
possible?
mature, like yeah, I get what you're saying. Like more mature,
Hmm.
more ancient, more just more.
But is it
Um,
possible that his dad maybe
yeah.
possibly bargained, or one of his prior, because he would be a descendant, what would he be?
Yeah.
Well, his people. Is it possible that they that he possibly bargained with them,
Yeah.
because he has all kinds of tattoos on him?
Also remember in I think it's Frost and Starlight, how Rhys has like the power to I don't think we realize it as much. He has like the power to find people or find things.
Mm.
So like he was looking for Feyre and he stretched out his power and knew she was in her little studio. And then they were looking for Nesta and he used his power and was
Yeah.
able to figure out that Nesta was in a certain tavern
It's like his
and went
powers
there.
go beyond space and time.
Yeah, and I think we get little glimpses sometimes and we don't realize that
Mm.
there's more than meets the eye. Like we don't read enough into it
Well,
sometimes.
they said, well, possibly is his magic like cosmic magic, because the
Mhm.
starlight mirrors the starborn magic that,
Yeah.
since we know they're related now because of what happens in Crescent City 3.
Mhm.
Um, and then he reacts to the celestial events, because when starfall happens, that's a
Mhm.
big deal to him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and of course,
And
the Daemati part of him is interesting as well.
Starfall, it seems like it's only big in the night court, right?
I believe, yes. I don't
Yeah.
think it's anything. I don't hear. At least Sarah has never mentioned that that's a big thing that happens in other courts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe
So
this is strictly a night court kind of thing.
yeah. So it almost makes you wonder if he's like in charge of all those souls or whatever the heck they are that are passing over.
It's interesting. Now they
Mhm.
said, now the House of Wind. Now we know that the House of Wind is sentient, that there's something, the house is alive, and they said it chose him long before he knew. So is this like
Mm,
responds like familiar? It recognizes him, and or the power within him as a, for as a ruler, and is it
yeah.
possibly a possible remnant, the House of Wind, of Duskcourt?
Although I thought that Nesta was the one that brought the House of Wind alive because there were times when like she would say something and Cassian was like, "Huh?" Like that's weird that it reacted that way and he acted like he had never seen the house behave
But
that
maybe it
way
didn't like
before.
Cassian, or it didn't like his
Possibly. Yeah, and he was like,
power.
I'll yeah, he'd be like, I'll have to ask Reese about that." So
And
yeah.
we'll have to look and see, did the House of Wind, did it communicate with Reese? Because I don't
Yeah.
remember 100%,
Yeah.
but we do know for sure 100% it,
Definitely with
like
Nesta.
Nesta.
Yeah.
Nesta's Nesta's interesting.
Mhm.
Um, Now, is it possible is Reese possibly a reincarnation of an ancient being? Now, because his power signature matches the old gods,
Mhm.
and his dreams and stuff, is it possibly hints of
Mhm.
past lives?
I think that could be true too, as far as him being tied to like Dorian and Throne of Glass. Um, Like,
Do you think
yeah, is it possible that they're
that's possible?
some kind of reincarnation
Do you think it's possible that he is
or a
uh
descendant?
that he is the reincarnation of well, he would be a descendant, but of Celine's son, because she said she married a High Lord's son, and then she took her son
Mhm.
and she marked the blood at the prison tied to his blood, the key. We know Rhys's blood is keyed to the
That would be
prison.
Rhys. Yeah,
That
that
is
would for
Rhys.
sure. Mhm.
So is it possible that he is a reincarnation
Mm.
of him, or is he possibly a reincarnation of her father that they
Hmm.
killed, supposedly,
Yeah.
in the
See,
bog?
like, reincarnation's always hard for me because it's almost just like, well, why don't we just say descendant? But yeah, I mean, like, I can see that all being true.
I don't know.
Or like him getting certain, like maybe his power reincarnated, like he is his own being, his own person, but that his power has been reincarnated. I could see that. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, we know Cassian and we do know Azrael both can go to the prison too. Rhys
Uh-huh.
doesn't. Did Rhys have to be there to open the prison? Or does their blood
Um,
open it too?
I think that he's made it so that his inner circle has access to the words.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't have anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting though.
Yeah.
I still I have thoughts with Azrael. Azrael, now the
But I
further I
think,
read,
you know what, also, I think there was like a worry that, because remember, Briallen sent her soldiers to the prison to
yes,
basically intercept Nesta and Cassian.
yes.
So, but that makes me wonder, like, could they have gotten in? No, they must not have been. Like, the wards had to have kept them out. So not
But
anybody can just waltz into the prison.
but how did her soldiers get into the prison?
Well, they weren't in it. They were out waiting outside.
I thought they did, and they went down the steps because when she was getting the harp, and I thought they fought in the
No, it
prison itself,
was,
or was it
I
when they
don't,
were leaving?
I think it was just outside, like when they were leaving, because it was Briallen, like, was able to talk to Nesta while she was still in the prison, which
Oh,
was
okay.
weird. And then that's when Nesta was like, okay, well, now she knows I'm here and she knows I've got the harp.
I
And
think it's
then,
because she had the crown. I think like followed like, or whatever, like
and
attracted like. That's why they could talk.
yeah. And then remember also the harp fucked fucked with everything basically and was like,
Yes.
I wanna make things interesting. And that's when Lanthis got out. Lanthis.
Well, the harp, and now we've discovered the harp
The harp opened
stops
stuff up.
time,
Yeah.
and now we know that it stops time basically,
Yeah.
which is, or it slows time. I
Yeah.
don't know how we would put it, if we would say slows time, or if it, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm interested to see where this goes, because
Yeah.
when you're reading the part with Bryce and stuff, Nesta so wants to bring all the death trove things. Now remember, they
Mm.
put them in a secure room with wards and all that, and Nesta just goes, and it's there
Yeah.
right with her, because she put the
Yeah.
mask on, and then she kind of went into her
And when
state she was in.
when she was on Ramiel or Ramiel, she was able to call it to her
Oh yeah,
too.
she called.
Yeah.
It's Remember, Helion is supposed to be all powerful, and he put all those wards and all this stuff, and it's supposed to be secured, and all she does is call it. So that makes me
Yeah.
wonder, with Nesta itself, is it truly just everything that she got from the cauldron,
Mhm.
or is it something else that's in her lineage that is allowing her to do this?
Yeah.
Now we do know Nesta and Feyre and the mother all had blue eyes. What if the blue eyes are the same as the Asteri blue eyes? What if they're descendants of the Asteri in some way, just
Oh,
that mixed with human?
interesting.
I don't know. That's my random
Yeah.
weird thought. I don't know, because
Yeah,
it's
it's an
blue eyes.
interesting thought.
Everything's intentional
Or they were like, yeah,
with
they were,
her.
what were they, like blue gray? That
Yeah.
bluish gray, steely color. Yeah.
hmm
Hmm.
And now Nesta's, of course, has flame. Because
Yeah.
when you listen to them when they talk, when Bryce is looking at her and everything like this, because this is
Mhm.
after the fact, this is Nyx is born, all that kind of stuff is happening.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Azriel's
That
telling
timeline
her,
is just after.
Because he's talking to her when she puts the mask on with Bryce to get her to come back from the edge. He's telling her, what about, Feyre? What about,
Right.
everybody, Cassian. And he brings up the thing that draws her and brings her completely back is when he mentions Nyx. Nyx is already born by this point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so she did not give the cauldron. I think she gave it back a little bit, but I don't think she gave it a lot back.
She hasn't yet, because at the end, let me see here. At the end, when she makes the deal with the cauldron, like, I will give it back if you help show me. Like, help show me how to fix them or help them. And then she gets like a tattoo from the cauldron for making the deal with it. And I don't know, I made a note at the end that says Nessa's power was given back to the cauldron in order to save Feyre and the baby and Rhys, but something left. Oh, the mother. I think it's the mother that they all, like from the cauldron, or the mother that they all always talk about, left some of her power still there. Because she feels like I wish I had the book in front of me right now so I could say it, but it's like she feels like somebody like putting their hand on her shoulder, basically, is like you did good. You did this for good. And so we're not going to take all the power back, but you can keep some of it, type thing. Like the mother intercepted and didn't allow the cauldron to take it all back.
Now, are you talking about Feyre and them's mother or some other person?
No,
as
just
mother?
the mother. You know how they say
the mother. Oh, yes.
Yeah, the
That
mother.
made the
Yes.
creator. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
because we know that she's extremely powerful, because when
mhm.
you're reading Crescent City and then she kills the worm.
Mhm.
I mean, you've seen what it took for Feyre to kill the worm, know, but she
Did you
went
just
there.
love that it like got brought back in Crescent City?
I don't. And I'm like, oh, that horrible thing. But I've discovered, though, that a lot of those, that the Asteri took the worm from, this is where was the worm from somewhere else and the Asteri just brought it as a pet to Prythian, and then they took some and they took it, because they took all kinds of animals and all kinds of things to Midgard, because she calls it a different, Bryce calls it a different word. Some of the what did she call it? It's the other one where, by the water. There's something like it, and it's similar to it. But when I was reading Crescent City, I wasn't seeing it as a big giant worm, though. I was seeing it as something else. But I guess it's. But is it originally? But I love how it came back, though. I was like, damn that stupid worm. And it was.
I love it.
And it wanted to eat them. Now we're going to talk about your next favorite person, Mr. Tamlin.
Tam.
Now, under now this is a theory that he's possibly under a second curse. Beneath Amarantha, this is something with her, tied to the Spring Court ancient magic, and explains his instability. Is it possible that he did the whole thing? Feyre broke the curse, which was the 50-year curse, over all his people, but is he possibly in another curse, and that's why now he is in full beast mode?
The curse of a broken heart. Poor Tam.
Poor I think he loved the idea of Feyre.
Yeah.
Did he truly love Feyre? I don't think so.
They weren't right for each other. That's for sure.
No.
They weren't right for each other. But he did love her, because had the roles been reversed, Rhys would have done the same exact thing.
You think he would have just sat there beside Amarantha and not helped her or did anything?
Oh, no. That part, no. Fine. No.
I think Rhys would have done, if he was there.
But Rhys was acting as Amarantha's whore, so yeah, maybe he would have.
But he was still that, and he still helped her when she was doing stuff. Tamlin just sat there like a stunad. He just sat there and wouldn't look at her.
Tamlin also never wanted to be a High Lord. Never thought he was going to have to be a High Lord. And so I give Tamlin that credit, where like Rhys Rhys had training in how to play the game. And that's why he
Yeah.
was acting as Amarantha's whore, and he was able to help, and he was like thinking through things, and he's like 10 steps ahead. Tamlin is not a 10 steps ahead kind of guy. He's a reactive guy.
But
And
he like
so,
completely shut down though. He
yes,
completely
I
shut
think,
down, but he was
yeah,
no help.
no,
He
he wasn't.
truly was no help. The only way
No.
when he was, we're going to call him a little that he was the help, is when he killed Amarantha. That was
Yeah,
just rage and whatever. But I'm like,
right.
all this time he was sitting there beside her. I understand he was under the curse and all that,
Yeah.
but he just he didn't
He's
do
not,
anything.
that's what I'm saying. He's not a mastermind. He's more of the brute.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, like he's
maybe it's
more
just not all there.
reactive. Yeah.
Maybe it's not, he's not a planner.
Yeah.
Our poor Tamlin. Now, is it possible? Because now, remember, now he's in charge of Spring Court, which is
Uh-huh.
life, growth, rebirth.
Yeah.
Is it possible that with Tamlin, is it possible with the Cauldron at some point, is
Mhm.
he going to be the one that will restore everything if the Asteri comes and all this stuff?
Yes.
You think this is
Yes.
going to be his redemption?
Yeah. And I like that because remember his little wind trick that he did to help Elaine get out of the Hybern's camp,
Yeah, he does
the
have other
king of
powers that
Hybern's
he
camp.
doesn't talk about.
Yes. So Um, yeah, and the fact that the Calanmai was so
Yes.
big in the Spring Court and isn't really talked about in the other courts, even though they all technically do it. Yeah, I think that absolutely he plays a bigger part, or that at least whoever's ruling the Spring Court is very important
Well, they
for this
said
stuff.
like with his redemption arc that we do believe is coming,
Mm-hmm.
that it's
Please.
is slow burn and it's intentional. Sarah's making it that it's drawing out because they
Yeah.
said maybe this is for a setup of a major comeback. Damn
Yeah.
it, he's coming
Please.
back, and
Please.
he may be the one that saves Prythian, or because a lot of it falls under the fallen king trope. They said.
Yeah. He just needs his lady. He needs the right woman to come along and help him get there. And Nesta, remember Nesta makes the comment that like when her and Cassian visit the Spring Court that it would be perfect for her. Like I really want an Elaine Tamlin or Elaine and somebody in the Spring Court thing to happen. I really want
I
it.
mean, but it just seems too obvious
Yeah.
that Elaine would be his mate since she
Yeah.
loves flowers and
Yeah.
pastels and things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But she's
Nesta,
technically Lucian's mate, but I almost want her to be like, you know what? No, I mean, it is kind of gross because her sister was with them and they'd be, what do they call them?
double dipping.
Eskimo sisters and real
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah.
But I don't know. She would just be perfect for that. Or I want Lucian to take over the Spring Court and them to be mates together. And Tamlin, I guess if he doesn't get his redemption arc, then oh well. Even though I
The,
still love him.
I think it's very like Sarah's making it very intentional about him because we know he's on the downward spiral. We know he's
Yeah.
trapped in his beast mode basically,
He's
which
hurting.
is he is hurting. Now, like, a lot of people say like when we watched Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie when we were children,
Mm-hmm.
that we're seeing Tamlin at that part. It wasn't a witch that cursed him or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whoever sorceress, whatever they say, cursed
Yeah.
him into that form, but maybe Feyre it was the heartbreak from it.
Yeah.
And that's what trapped him in it. And he has to have
Mm-hmm.
someone come
Yeah.
along.
Curse of a
But
broken heart is totally a thing.
I think it's going to be another player. I think it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be Elaine.
Okay.
I
I
think it's
like
going to be
that. I
someone
like
we
that you're
don't
saying
see
that.
coming.
Yeah,
I
that
think
it's too obvious.
it's too obvious.
Yeah.
And as we've read all these, nothing that Sarah does, it seems obvious to me.
Yeah.
So I think there's something with it.
Yeah.
But could it be, could he become the High King of Prythian? I just can't imagine him. This is
Nah.
another theory.
I don't
But
think he wants it.
but he'd be a tempered ruler, understands the old magic, loyal ancient faith. I don't know. I just
Nah.
don't think that's in his thing. But now,
Yeah.
is it possible that he's tied to the Dusk Court. The twilight undertones in magic lineage older than the Spring Court. Is it
And
possibly tied?
he's got his little pool of starlight.
Because that's still weird. Why is that there?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that was very intentionally put there. Sarah talked about that. She put that there for a reason. Why would there be a
Mhm.
pool of starlight in the Spring Court?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's our beautiful Tim. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is Tarquin. If you remember, he is part of the Summer Court.
Mhm.
Um, do we think, now this is a possibility, do we think he's secretly the most powerful High Lord? That
I
he
like
has
it.
his power, is it so vast and it's untapped, but they don't realize it yet?
Yeah. Heck
Do you
yeah.
think it's possible? Because he can
I
do
mean,
other things.
and I was going to say, remember when he like him and Feyre both could like drown people. Just like they didn't even have to be in the water. Like he could just drown them from a water source or turn them into ice.
And they
Well,
can make animals
that
and
was her
stuff.
using both of those. I
Yeah,
was gonna say that was her using Callias and Callias and Tarquin's power
Kelly's.
to freeze them. But um yeah, Tarquin, and there's a reason why the other half of the book was in the summer court.
And what's up with all the vaults that he has and
Yeah.
ancient artifacts and that? But it's weird
Yeah.
that he had the other half of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they choose there? Because if
He's like a
Helion is supposed to be
mhm.
so big with wards and knowledge,
Right.
why didn't they put it there?
Right.
Why did it go to Summer Court?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's odd.
I think
But
Tarquin and this is just me like the whole sea creature thing. Like he's like the Poseidon of courts. So I bet he's got so much like untapped
oh,
potential
I have a thought.
with all that.
Remember you said Amarantha threw that
Mhm.
sword into the ocean? What if he finds it and he uses it?
And I bet he could call it to himself
Oh
because
my God, maybe
he
he already has
commands
it
the
and it's in
ocean.
his vault. Yeah?
Could very well be. Yeah.
Because did it say that she threw it into the ocean?
Yeah.
See? And
Well, that's
he's
what
in.
they thought. Yeah, that it was rumored to have been thrown in the ocean.
Hmm. Maybe he's
Mhm.
going to do so. Oh, I don't think this is the end of Tarquin because he was a major
Mm-mm.
player in all the other books. I
Mhm.
think there's something with that.
And you
So,
know what? I could see now since we talked about the High King thing, I could see Tarquin being it. Cassian and Amryn and Azriel were trying to push Rhys into it, and he's like, I don't have any desire for that,
mhm,
but I could totally see him. Like, I know that Rhys doesn't want to bow to anybody
yeah.
other than his court, but like Tarquin would be a great and fair ruler.
Wait, because when Feyre was talking to him and everything, she was very, very friendly and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he was
Hmm.
willing to work with everybody.
Yeah.
So he could be a very good choice if they end
Yeah.
up deciding they want to do that.
Hmm.
Um, and I think also too, I think he does know a little bit more about the cauldron again because he
Yeah.
had half the book.
Yeah.
I think he has a little bit more knowledge because he has the
Hmm.
archives, for his people there. I
Yeah.
think there's more. And I think now, is it possible? Now, because I don't know, did they mention when we read about the summer court, did they mention anything about sea creatures like mermaid people? We know the water race, we know those
Hmm.
exist, but is it possible that the
Well,
mermaids that are in Crescent
Crescent
City,
City.
do you think they originated from Summer Court? Because I don't know if
Yeah.
if she mentions mermaid people.
Well,
I
and I think that since we are in ACOTAR and it is from Feyre's perspective, Feyre and some of Rhys, it's like we have no idea how much is out there still. We're not seeing it from anybody else's point of view in the
Yeah.
summer court. Like there might be all kinds of stuff out there.
Well, they do consider all kinds. They say that the lesser fae, so
Yeah.
they don't really, unless they're high fae.
Mm.
High fae seems to only mingle with high
Yeah.
fae. So there
I
could be, very
totally
well could
believe
be.
yeah. I totally believe that just like Rhys having his hewn city. I bet Tarquin has some kind of
place like that as well.
place like that. Yeah. Or like you said with Crescent City, like he's got some kind of under the water
Oh, yeah.
palace.
Oh, I think there could be oh, that's so interesting. I
Yeah.
hadn't really thought about that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, but or now we're saying maybe he's going to be the uniter or whatever, but maybe he's going to be the next political disruptor,
That could
because
also be it. Yeah.
remember, he's young. He became a High Lord during Under the Mountain because Amarantha killed off his father, or what I'm assuming his father killed him off, and he became it. So we underestimate him because he's so nice.
And could it be that Amarin's love is the one who betrays them, that they've let him in basically into the inner circle? He's part of the summer court. What if he's the one that Varian?
And that's Varian is he
Varian?
is he Theon's or not Theon? Is he
he's
Tarquin's brother
cousin or something
his cousin
like that.
or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't thought about him being a deflector, because I've been thinking more in the inner circle as a deflector. Oh, interesting.
But he's kind of been brought into it, he's there for all the holidays
and they seem very accepting of him, and it doesn't seem like they have their defenses up with him.
Right. Because they believe that Tarquin's good and that he's good. And
do you think Amren would pick up on it? But I guess if she's blinded
maybe
by
not.
love.
Blinded by love and no longer has all of her powers.
Yeah, because she's now, she doesn't have, or supposedly she doesn't have her powers.
Correct.
Because I'm not 100% sold that is what took Amren's everything from her. Because look at Nesta.
Yeah.
But do I think Amren would hide the fact that her powers were still lingering within her? I think she would. I don't know if she would tell them.
Yeah.
100%. Now, the next one, of course, we want to talk about is Baron. You know you love him.
Hate him.
The Autumn Court. I do see similarities between Baron and the Autumn King in Crescent City. Could they be brothers or descendants from the same country? Because we know that the majority of them that went from the Dusk Court that went to Midgard, but did other people from other courts go with them to Midgard?
Yeah. Hell yeah, I think they're related. They're both dicks.
They're both dicks.
Autumn King, Autumn Court, there's something there.
Yeah, because why do we call him the Autumn King?
I don't remember that explanation.
And we know he has red hair. Same as Baron. Same as
does
Bryce. He? Yeah. Because Bryce has red hair and her hair is just like her father.
I don't think I even realized that. Like, I realized that Bryce had red hair, but Rune has the dark hair, and that's why I think I just kind of didn't even think about it.
Yeah, he has red hair as well.
Huh.
Isn't that interesting? Baron has red hair. They both have the power of fire. And there's stuff with the Autumn King that we don't even know all what he can do. But then again, I don't think we know the depth of Baron's power, because we know Baron is older. He is old, not old like the Cauldron old or like 15,000, but we do know he's
more matured. Kind of like Helion. Like, I kind of put him in the same age range as like Helion. And
when I picture them more like the little bit of the salt and pepper kind of man. In their 40s kind of thing. Yes. That's how I picture it. But
me too.
So he has it. So is it possible, does he hide his powers from his son? Is he hiding it from Lucian and Eris? Is his fire magic bottomless? That may have, or he may possibly have shadow and truth magic as well. This is what people are saying. Now, is it possible that he made a deal with Koshi? Because he is cruel, we know that. Will he make a deal with Koshi and cause more problems? Basically. Do I think he would do that? Yes.
Yes. Do I think he's capable? Yes.
Yes. The death triggers, let's see here. Now, there's also the possibility that they could remember they said something about a death duel and stuff, so he might get killed off in the next book.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when Lucian will take over the Autumn Court, or Eris.
Yeah. Because we're not done with him and the story with more either.
Oh, there's a lot more for us to find out there.
Yeah.
But I think, is it possible that Lucian's true parentage, will it cause a spark of civil war between Helion and Autumn Court with Baron? But I think he already knows that Lucian is not his. But I'm surprised he would keep Lucian around, though.
Right. I think more than it's sparking a civil war, I think that it will. I think it'll be like an identity crisis for Lucian.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Because Lucian has the red hair. It's not from Baron. It's because his mother,
His mama. Yeah.
his mom. I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because again, I think we can rule Baron as a dick.
Mm-hmm.
But is it possible that he could be tied to the Dusk Court as well? Because the lineage is older than the Autumn Court, but could it be they're all close together up in that upper part?
Well,
so,
and now that you've made that cross-reference with the Autumn King and Bryce, it does make you wonder if they are somehow interconnected as far as the Starborn and the Autumn courts like being intertwined.
Because you remember, there was no courts. When her people went over, they were all united and they were one people.
Yeah.
So there's something. There's something there. There's a reason why there's Baron and his is that court. And then she mentions and she says the king is the Autumn King.
Yeah.
Because why is that? And he's got red hair and Bryce has red hair. There's something there. Yeah. I don't know what. Then, of course, how do you pronounce his name? The guy from the Winter Court. Do you pronounce
Callius?
Callius. Now, of course, we know that he is tied to, they said possibly is his winter magic tied to starlight, because basically ice is glittering stars.
Okay.
I mean, maybe a lot more people, these High Lords and that, maybe they're a lot more tied together than we realize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he could be part of a Starborn ancestry as well. Because I don't think Bryce's grandmother there was the only one that, you know what I mean? I'd say there's probably a lot more people.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, his Vivian, his wife, is that how you pronounce her? She's Vivian?
Yeah.
She already acts as a high lady, but
I like her.
Is he going to make her a true high lady? Or will that be kind of like the same dynamic that happened way back when? And she will thirst for power. I don't know
and turned into an ice queen.
I mean,
like an evil Elsa.
Did you get the vibe from her that she wanted power?
Nah. No, I think she was more just like a girl's girl, and she's like, hey, she's high lady. I want to be a high lady, but I don't think that she's
power hungry.
Right. I didn't get that vibe, but who knows?
Well, they're also saying they believe that what did we say his name is? Callius. Callius is maybe possibly the most underestimated High Lord. Because he doesn't really show his power. So maybe it's a lot more terrifying than we know. And remember, that's where that other Daemati was up there and killed all those people. Why were they up there with him? And who was that Daemati?
Who was that Daemati? Was it one of the King of Hybern's niece and nephew? Was it some other player that we haven't seen yet? And also with him, remember that he has that tinkerer, the master tinkerer, Nuon, who figured out the antidote to the Faebane. And she's from Geon. And so it's like, how did he get her there? What does he have to offer? Oh, no, that's the Dawn Court. Never mind. That's not the Winter Court.
Oh, okay, that's not him.
But strike that. But we'll talk about that with the
Well, the other thing is it possible that he has ancient ice forged blades? Does he have the trove items or something tied there? There's something more with him. They think that it's very possible he may play a major role in the next war because, borders could become, dangerous territories and secret alliances might be being formed.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, of course, we love is the day court is Helion, which is Lucian's father.
His Fasha.
And even Well, we know he's brilliant. We know he's kind of seductive, and he's very
Mhm,
politically savvy.
mhm.
Um, we know he can break spells. He knows the wards. He knows all that, and he has the big library. And he
Yeah.
also has the Pegasus, the horses with wings. And
Yes.
in Crescent City, it is mentioned that Thea, when she goes for her last battle before she gets killed, she is
Mhm.
flying on her horse, her Pegasus, that has wings.
Yes.
So, is there some connection there?
And
Did Sarah say that intentionally? Because
yes.
like she was on that, does that tie us back to Helion, to
So I
his
had made a
people?
note. I made a note about that because I remember reading it. After the Kelpie and Nesta deal in the Bog of Urid,
Hmm.
they talk about Helion's Pegasus that are rare. Some
Yes.
disappeared long ago, and then I put ... Crescent City. It said they came from the island that the prison sat on. The meadows becoming moss and mist, whatever had sustained them, gone. And that's why they had disappeared. And I can't wait for you to finish Crescent City because there's more about the Pegasus.
Ew.
And we'll get to that on another episode
Another
once you
episode.
finish. Yeah, once you
That's
finish, for
exciting.
sure.
Because as
Yeah.
soon as I seen that and I read that, and I'm like, oh, there's a reason. Because
Yes.
again, Sarah, everything she does,
Yeah.
intentional.
I also think it's cute that Bryce and Nesta. So there's that very small part when Nesta and Gwen and Emery are in the House of
Yes.
Wind, and Nesta's
Yes.
only request from the house was to make the little Pegasus. And it was just
Yes.
an illusion. It wasn't a real Pegasus. But I thought it was so cute that that was the one thing Nesta asked for, and that Bryce is obsessed with Pegasus.
I think Bryce, I think if there is going to be any more crossover into book 6, I
Uh-huh.
think it's very possible and stuff. But then again, I haven't finished Crescent City 3 yet.
Yeah.
But I think Nesta and Bryce are going to be friends.
Yeah.
I think there's a strong bond there that is more than I know at this moment. Or if even if it is, I don't know what happens
Yeah.
at the end of here, but I feel there's something.
Yeah.
But now, do we think Helion is going to react well if Lucian finds out that he is his father? Because I don't. Do we think that Helion realizes that Lucian is his son?
I don't think he does. And I see it going one of two ways, that he'll kind of like freak out and feel like Lucian could be a risk to his reign, like, or could be a threat
Or
to
will
him,
he be excited that he has a child?
that he has an heir
Because
and a child. Yeah.
we do know that it is very difficult for the Fae to have
Mhm.
children. I'm not really
Right.
sure why. Maybe that has something to do with the Asteri when they were there. Maybe they did something.
Mhm.
Maybe it's something to do with the water because in Midgard, remember they put stuff in the water to mess
Mhm.
with them. Is
Yeah,
it
the
possible?
parasites.
Did they do something to something in Prythian, and maybe that is what made it difficult for them to have children?
Yeah.
Be- I don't know.
You
That's
know what
possible.
else? I could also see where like Lucian finds out Helion is Dada.
Yeah,
And then Helion's like, okay, well, now that I know you're my son, fuck Baron. I'm going to get my girl because I'm pretty sure they are still in
they're.
love and want each other.
I think
And
they're
then,
truly mates. I think
yeah,
Helion and uh, I don't think we
whatever,
know
I forget
what.
what her name is. We
I
might
don't
know
know
it.
if we ever
I forget
know.
though. She's
But
kind of, she's
Lucian's
kind of not
mama,
exciting. Yeah, Lucian's mama. And so then they get together. Baron gets overthrown. Eris takes over. And that's what goes
that's a
on.
good theory.
Yeah.
That's a very good theory.
Yeah.
I think Lucian and Elaine are going to be together. I really
I do
think they
too.
are. And
I
then
hope
I
so.
think they're going to, and that's what, again, where I'm thinking, could it be possibly because day, dusk, it's all, and then
Yeah.
they're going to put him in Duskcourt and reopen it in that beautiful palace. It'll be
Uh-huh.
beautiful, and the Pegasus will come back, and
Yes.
the mist will go away,
Yeah.
and it'll be beautiful again because the description of the Duskcourt was that it was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and also with the day and dusk court, either one, I could see Elaine thriving there too, because just because the spring court is all flowers, that doesn't mean that day isn't all
Can't be
flowers and
beautiful.
life. Right. Like
Hmm.
they may still have seasons, but
Yeah.
Elaine knows how to tend to all the seasons with her little
Well,
garden.
well, she knows how to tend to flowers.
Yes.
Again, she doesn't know how to grow vegetables, but
Yeah.
she can grow some flowers.
Yeah.
Now, and then our last High Lord that no one talks about because I don't know, he's very back, you know what I mean? There's little
Yeah.
mentions of him, but he's not a big player, at least
Yeah.
as of yet, is Thiessen. He is the
Decent.
High Lord of the Dawn Court. We know
Mhm.
he's ancient, he's wise, he's morally complex. We do know he
Mhm.
likes the men because he's got which his general is his lover guy. I don't know if
It's
he's his
his lover.
general,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's very open with it. We do
Yeah.
know he
And
does
now
healing.
and then fact check, the lady I was talking about earlier, she's under him. She's in his court, the Master
Okay,
Tinkerer.
that's the
So
one that
he's got
made his eye, right?
the that made Lucian's eye. She had the thing for the Fabane, the whatever it's called, anti whatever.
Like the vaccine, we'll call it.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's the antidote.
Antidote,
That's the
antidote to the
word we want.
Fabane. So yeah, I
Mhm.
think he's got a lot of powerful, smart people in the Dawn Court that we don't know about, and that he is.
Well, we know he can heal. He has powers
Yeah,
of healing,
yeah,
restoration, that kind of
hmm
thing.
yeah,
But maybe besides healing magic, maybe it does time magic. This is what other people, this is a theory that he can
hmm
rewind the body and he can manipulate time itself, which in a way
cool.
he kind of sounds like the harp because the harp
Yeah,
can do that.
that's
So
cool.
I wonder, see, this is where I'm wondering about all their lineages,
Yeah,
because they have some interesting, I don't know, but
hmm
is it possible that, he holds the prophecy archives? He's the one that has it. He has the oldest records and possibly failings. I thought it was Helion that had libraries, but maybe he has stuff up there too.
I'm sure they both. Yeah, I think
They probably both
to some
do.
extent they both do. Yeah, that's
And
cool.
And then is it possible that Elaine may be the one that restores Dawn Court because of her seer magic, because it aligns with dawn and light, and then maybe she'll be a high lady, and it might have nothing to do with Lucian.
Dawn or dusk, or are they tied together in a way? Is that
I guess, in essence, is it tied to? I don't know.
interesting?
I don't
And
know.
yeah, and it also makes you wonder if something happens to Thiessen, if he doesn't have an heir, who
I
will the
don't think he
magic?
has an heir.
Yeah, so who will the magic choose to be like the next high lord or lady of that land?
It's interesting. So I
Yeah.
mean, because we don't get a whole lot about him and stuff like
hmm
that. I mean, and if he doesn't have an heir, because to my knowledge, he doesn't have any children.
Yeah. I don't even know
So
what I wonder what his beast form is because we don't really know that either about him, do we?
we don't know. Mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm. I think we're going to see a little bit more because, like, we've seen a lot of Tamlin, we've saw a
Mhm.
lot of Baron, we've
Mhm.
Tarquin, we've seen a lot from them, and a
Mhm.
little bit more from Helion. But these other High Lords, we really don't know a lot. So maybe in this upcoming book, we're going to see a little bit more, have a little bit more taste of them,
Yeah.
I guess. Well, let me ask this question. Which High Lords looks like they are hiding the bargain with an ancient god? Do you think any of them seem like they're hiding something?
Out of all of them, I want to say Rhys, but it's also hard to know because we don't know enough about some of the others. So, just from this perspective we have so far, that's my answer. What about you?
I think it's very possible that Helion knows more because he has those big libraries and stuff. He
Yeah.
knows a lot about, the wards of putting those things up, a lot more
Mhm.
even than Reese and stuff like that. He knows
Yeah.
a lot. So it makes me wonder, could he have made a bargain with someone? Because they all do bargains. We know this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and which one out of all seven of the High Lords, which one gives you the secret villain arc energy that could be coming?
Hmm.
I still think Baron. But
Well,
he's not
see,
a
but he's
secret
not
villain.
secret. Yeah. So
He's
he's
open.
already a villain. Yeah. He's already a villain. I think the ones that have potential to be secret villains are Callius
Yeah.
and I liked how we did with Tarquin, like that they have the potential to go Though
That's
dark.
very possible. I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when we started talking about Tarquin, I think that Tarquin might end up being a much bigger player. Even though he was a
Yeah.
big player in, Aka War and that kind of stuff, but he was a good
Yeah.
guy then.
Yeah.
Quote, good guy. Could it,
Yeah.
but like you said, he has what's his name there, getting cozied up with
Varian.
Amren,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure he is becoming, the more they get used to him, he's going to become more privy to information that he
And
wouldn't necessarily have, or maybe Amren will tell him things.
yeah, and maybe he hasn't forgiven them for like double crossing him and going behind his back. Like that could be something
He
that
did
he holds on to.
he did send him blood rubies. We do
Yeah.
know they get really mad. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. This is one listener said they think that Duskcourt's heir is already in the series. There was a comment of that out on the
Okay.
interwebs.
Okay.
So, do we think that Duskcourt's heir is already in the series? I mean,
Okay.
if it's Lucian, yes. If it's
Yeah.
Elaine, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or do we think, is it possible that we don't even know who the heir is going to be?
Hmm. I think they're already in the series. I like that. I'd like to know what other people think
I
if
do
we've
too.
already met him. Yeah.
And then, is it possible, now the other one, they say that the cauldron is sentient and petty. Is the cauldron going to come after the people then?
Hmm. I'm not sure about that one. I know it's sentient, but I don't know how petty it is.
Now this is real quick here. Which High Lord is secretly the strongest, do you think? I think it's Rhys.
Reese.
But is it possible that it's Tamlin and we just haven't seen the power of him yet?
Yeah. I think brute strength, maybe Tamlin, but I think that Reese has the most ancient strong magic.
Well, which court do you think is hiding the biggest lie?
Summer
I think
court.
I think the Court of Nightmares, because I think there's something tied to the Princes of Hell.
Oh, that's true too. I like that. Okay.
Because they talk about Thanatos.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
talks, why is that name there? And
Yeah.
why do we know there's something with that with Crescent City?
And he's having trouble with his daughter again. It's like, what? What's the deal with his daughter? Who is his daughter? What's going on there? That's a good one.
I think there's more in the Court of Nightmares than we know.
Yeah.
And then who do you think is most likely to betray Prythian at this moment in our minds?
Baron.
You think Baron?
Yeah.
I think it's more. I do think it's more.
That's really
At first,
good.
I used to really think it was Amren for a long time. I thought Amren was going to do it, but I just don't,
Yeah.
because she sacrificed so much with the war. I
Yeah.
do not think so. I
Yeah, you
think
might
she
be
has a
right.
lot of knowledge, but I think it's more because there's so much that we just don't know.
Yeah. I think in
There's
my head
just,
I was thinking High Lord, but I like the more is I like the
well,
more idea. Yeah.
because I think more is going to be, in my opinion, I'm
Hmm.
not gonna die on this hill, but I
Yeah.
am gonna put it out there. I think that War is going to be the heir to the
Hmm.
Dusk Court. I don't think it's gonna be Lucian anymore. For a long time I kept thinking it was Lucian, and then
Yeah.
Elaine's gonna be with him because of all this stuff, and they're gonna bring him
Yeah.
back. I think because of Moore's power of truth, there's something with that, and I think it ties into the Dusk Court, and I
Yeah.
think she is going to be the High Lady of the Dusk Court. I
I
think there's
thought it
something
could have
with it.
been Nesta too. Like I thought Nesta maybe could take that role, but especially with how much like the world like shakes around her basically and that she's meant for more. But I'm not like you just said, I'm not going to die on that hill, but it's a hill that I could spend some time on.
I think now, is it possible that Nesta is the reincarnation of Selene? Because he said it was the great warrior that trapped all these beasts. Because Nesta doesn't seem to have a whole lot of problems when it comes to getting
Yeah.
the beasts and that kind of stuff. Because when you
Yeah.
read Crescent City, we know the Asteri, even though this Asteri has been weakened by 15,000 years, but it
Uh-huh.
starts sucking up the first light that's underneath the prison, so she's
Yeah.
getting strong. Nesta just went ha with her weapon and then stabbed her head repeatedly,
Yeah.
and it went to gore.
Yeah.
Nesta has some anger issues,
Mhm. A little bit.
just a little bit. But that wraps us up on our deep dive into the High Lords of Prythian and their powers, their secrets, and all the fan theories that make us go, wait, what? Seriously, my brain hurts, but I loved every minute of this.
Same. And remember, whether you're Team Helion, Team Rhys, or just Team someone is secretly tied to the cauldron, the fun is in the theories. We're just here to obsess with you.
Now, don't forget to subscribe to us so that you don't miss the next episode where we may or may not ruin another fan theory for you.
And follow us on Instagram at 2girls1tbr for polls, debates, fan theory discussions you won't hear on the podcast, and answer the questions that we've asked on the podcast as well.
Yes. And also, we also started a newsletter. That's our new thing for season 2. When this episode comes out, there will be another newsletter. So please check our link in bio, and you can get exclusive content from us, bonus theories, maybe a meme or two that might involve Tamlin. I don't know, his redemption arc. There's several of them that are out there that crack my heart inside. But yeah, go and sign up for our newsletter. It's very important to us. And plus, you'll get to see little tidbits from all of us.
Yep. Thanks for listening, Book Babes. Keep your theories spicy, your heart stark, and your TBR endless. Until next time.
Good night, Book Babes.
Good night.